forest. Long ago, in a certain town, in a certain country, there was a forest. The locals were afraid of this forest. Some people called it a magic forest. Others called it a cursed forest. However, everyone in the town knew that whoever went inside of this forest never came back out the same. One lone reporter, however, decided to put a camera up by the forest path and then go in himself. Fatal mistake. You see, this man had talked to the locals to find out a little bit more about this forest, so he would know what he was getting into. Most of them warned him, told him that the forest was evil. Something inside of it was not right. However, he didn't believe them. He was skeptical. He was very skeptical. Didn't believe much in ghosts or magic. He wanted to disprove any theory he could, which is why he went into the forest, even after all the warnings. You see, the locals told him probably the scariest story he had ever heard, but he didn't care. The story, you see, went something along the lines of this. Many, many moons ago, there was a boy, a young boy, who went inside the forest to play hide and seek with a few of his friends. The forest had not been that active, I guess, to say the least, in a while. So they thought they would be fine. However, later that night, when none of the boys came back, their parents got worried and went out and saw a shoe, one of the boys' shoes, laying in front of the forest path. After that, the town grew scared, hearing moans, screams, every night for the next month. Hearing moans, screams, maniacal, evil laughter coming from the forest. Some say they even saw eyes lurking, watching the villagers as they went about their daily lives. Eventually, it pretty much became a law that you should not be outside your house at night, for it was too dangerous. You see, one of the villagers one night woke up to the sound of scratching at their door. Not animal scratching like you would hear a dog trying to get in because the doggy door is on, or nothing like that. It was nails, human fingernails, being scraped and scratched across this poor villager's door. The villager, of course, was scared to death, yelling at it to go away and go back to the forest. And that's when they heard the voice of one of the children who had vanished the month before, saying, "Help us. Please help us. Burn it to the ground. Let us go. Free us, please." Later the next day, the villager was found scared to death. Had a mental breakdown, most people called it, since the villager also, I guess I should point it out, happened to be the mother of one of the lost child. She had a mental breakdown later, went to a clinic and, well, let's just say she didn't survive. Later on, as the story goes, the villagers blocked off most of the entrances to the forest. There were 3. They blocked off 2, leaving only the main path open for anyone daring to even try. Many attempts were made to set the forest on fire. Sadly, the fire would only extinguish upon impact with any of the trees, as if the tree was covered in water every time. Even after hearing this story of horrible, gruesome events and things much worse than that, the man still went into the forest. And as the villagers say, he didn't come back. Well, not the same. His video camera was later retrieved after officials arrived, because one of the villagers had the guts to call the local police to the town to help with the problem at hand. The problem at hand was some animal type thing attacking the village. However, later on, upon inspection of the animal's dead body, it was shown that there was a very strange amount of blood loss, wounds, beatings, and markings all across the animal's body, indicating it had gone through something before coming to the village. When officials found the video camera, they watched it. Well, they took it as evidence and watched it. And what they saw was the man walking in, slowly, but surely walking in to the forest. After fast forwarding many minutes, they saw him come back. However, he was panting like a maniac, like a scared child running for his life away from a monster. And then he, by some unknown or unseen force in the video, was yanked back into the forest, being dragged, which explained some of the very, very deep cut wounds on the animal's body, which was later identified as the man. Then they saw the man stumble out of the woods. Well, the animal, with the face of the man, slowly turning into a hideous creature. He went into the forest and came back out as a monster, just like the locals had warned him. Some people say that there's some demon that lives in the forest feeding off of humans, and when they enter his forest, he turns them into demons too, and that's what the animal was. A demon. Human transformed into a demon-like creature. The creature looked like a wolf-type creature. Has a long snout with fangs coming out. Hair like a wolf, but it looks like a human. Not a werewolf. No, no, no. Much, much worse. You see, this creature sounds like a human when it whimpers, like a wolf does, or a dog. It sounds like a crying human child. And when it screams or howls, it sounds like a child screaming in distress. And its eyes are pure white, and you can see them always in the darkness, watching